In the previous tutorials, we looked at how to create a new project, how to add data sets to an existing project, and what kind of metadata information a project view has at a high level. In this video, we're going to talk about data analysis or data exploration, and to do that, you need to go to transform dataset link. So in this case, I'm using my loan dataset, using the loan project, and going to data transformation within that. So before we create predictive models or do operations on the data, the first thing a typical data scientist does is explore the data, understand the quality of the data, or explore analysis of the data, and then after that do data wrangling, data cleaning, model creation, and leveraging the model for predictive insights. So in this tutorial, we're going to talk about data exploration, and in subsequent videos, we are going to talk about data wrangling or data cleaning and how to create predictive models. So when you go to machine learning core view within Predactica's ML core platform, you'll see right away data quality bar at the very top. In this case, for example, I have roughly 1,000 rows and 22 features, and then for each of the features you see data quality bar. So red color indicates that the data has null values or no values. In this case, for example, member ID has no values at all, so you see red indicator. That means user can either replace that particular data with something else, or he can completely delete it if he chooses to. Now if you look at the next field, loan amount, the data is nicely distributed here. There are no null values, so data is sort of clean from that perspective. And same goes with other fields here like term, funded amount investment, and various other fields. We also show zero values in different color scheme. So for example, delinquents in 2 years, this particular field has roughly 969 zeros. Zero could be a valid value, but in some cases it could not be a valid value. It depends on your business scenario, but it's highlighted in a different maroon color, so you can take some appropriate action if you choose to. Going back to the home view, we also have a way to delete features if you like to, based on your business use case. In this case, for example, I see that member ID has everything is null, so for me it's not going to add any value in my model creation, so I might choose to delete this particular column or feature. And you can also delete multiple features in one go instead of picking each one separately. So for example, if I want to delete this one, I can do that. So it gives you an idea of how you can instantly delete features that you think are not appropriate for your business case. Below the data quality bar, you see something called data distribution bar or histogram view. So here again, you see how data is distributed, so you can get a good idea of your data set. Now, going back to the next view, it's called metadata summary view. Here you'll see not only the data quality bar and histogram we looked at earlier, but also we can show you the statistical information of the feature. For example, in this case, it's a float value. You see there are 724 empty values. The maximum value is 81. The minimum is 1. The mean, mode, standard deviation, and how many are unique. So it gives a very good idea of how the data is distributed, especially when you have large data set. This comes in very handy. And the next view in the tab is univariate. Here you can see how data is distributed in a graphical format. Your normal graphs, you can look at z-scale, or you can also look at logarithmic graphs, and you can pick, if you want to pick a different feature, you can do that, or whichever feature you came here, that's your default feature that's you're showing the values for. It also has multivariate view where you can see the correlation between various features. Color coded, the light green is weakly positive correlated, or if it is dark green is highly correlated, and red color indicates negative correlation. For example, in this case, I have installment and funded amount. You see a strong correlation, positive correlation here. And whereas if I pick something like total payment versus loan write-off, there is a negative correlation, strong correlation here. So this is a good way to look at how strongly or weakly your features are correlated with each other, so you can take some decision when building a model. So you might want to exclude or include depending on the correlation values you see here. There is also a pivot view, similar to your Excel pivot view. So for example, here in this case, I want to a pivot view between interest rates and annual income, and your row columns is going to be interest rate, your row is by default the summary of annual income. In fact, you can even change it to max, min, or even average, right? So it gives you a very nice way to graph your variables, x-axis versus y-axis, in various graph formats. It could be, you can also look at it from scatter plot, or you can look at your pie chart. So different ways to look at the same data. Again, these are all your typical graphs. You can look at data from different views to get a better idea of your data set. So that gives you an overview of data exploration that's supported by the tool. And in the next videos, we'll go through how to do data wrangling, data cleaning, model building, or feature engineering, all these other activities that typical data scientist does.